Hey all, this is just a quick note before I begin the video. I just wanted to let you know that if you guys have any questions about Rainbow Six, about Minecraft, or anything in between, you can swing by my Twitch channel, www.twitch.tv/Moppski. I stream about 3-4 times a week, and you can swing by and ask me anything. I love answering questions on stream, and you might end up in a future YouTube video. So yeah, I'll put the link down in the description, and enjoy the video. Okay, here's a great question, actually. Is it bad to play too many different operators? And this is posted by John Pino. I've known this can depend on how good of a player you are, but is it in general, is it bad to play a different operator every round? I've personally been in a slump lately, and I'm wondering if it's better to stick 2 to 3 operators to play, or just play whatever the team is needing, if that makes sense. So, in his specific case, playing in a slump is the best time to be playing exactly what the team needs, especially if that team needs like a Mira, trying to think of some other operators like a Rook. I mean, there's not very many opportunities where a Rook's going to be super useful, but like a player that puts down his utility and then like is just a gun, that's going to be your best player to pick in those situations. So if you're in a slump and you need to get yourself back out there, I would encourage you to play aggressively, because that's the easiest way to get out of a slump. It can be kind of demoralizing when you're playing aggressively and it doesn't work. Because I'm in a slump right now too, and I'm not doing very well as far as kills. Like I haven't had a positive KD in weeks, so I'm in a bit of a slump right now. But I've been playing like anchor operators and just things like mute. Like you can turn that into a roaming operator and play aggressively with mute, but still put down your utility ahead of time, so you can practice and be useful to the team. That would be my suggestion in that case. If you're in a slump, be useful to the team, but also try to get as much practice as you can in, because the only true way to get out of a slump is to continue to practice. Like, you're never going to get over a slump if you don't attempt to get over the slump. What does one do if they end up in a 1v5? So this is a horrible situation. The best first comment is, I usually die. Yeah, fair enough. But this is an unfortunate situation where you end up, the rest of your team either went out and was aggressive, the other team was aggressive, something like that. What you need to do, even if the other team is aggressive, the first thing you need to do is breathe. You need to take a second, and you only have a second. Take a second. Okay, and then you need to be thinking objectively. This team is attacking from here. I'm going to get the most value out of pushing them or holding this specific site. So, like kid's bedroom, master bedroom on Hereford, 2nd floor. I was the Mira, and if I was to end up in a 1v5 in that situation, it's like, okay, what Mira is best for me to hold, or what room is best for me to hold? And B would be the best place to hold, because I have a defensible location with that wall in between kids. I have a pretty good sight line through the rotate. And I also have a mirror on the wall to see if they're pushing from the bathroom side. So that would be the best side. You need to think about, okay, where do I need to hold? What is the limitation of the character that I am? Am I Jaeger? Do I have a really great gun, but I have no explosive ability? So that means you need to be really fast-paced, moving a lot, pushing them. I mean, like, really conservatively. And also be listening for sounds. Where are they pushing from? Who's here? Who's here? Who's here? But you don't have any plant denial. If you're a Mira, you're like, okay, I have a really great gun for one person, so I need to play really conservatively. I need to hold this site, but I also have plant denial, so I can hold it from a distance. I have a nitro cell. If you're a smoke, that'd probably be the best situation you could end up in, because you have 2 really great guns. You have the shotty for close range. You have the SMG-11 for long range. So you have 2 guns. You also have plant denial, and as long as you didn't use one of your impacts, you have the ability to rotate in a way that they weren't expecting, or get a sight line that they weren't expecting. So you have to think about the limitations of the character that you have, where they're pushing from, what information do you have about that push, and whether or not you need to hold or you need to be aggressive. So it's a really unfortunate situation, but you need to just kind of pull your head out of it for a second and be like, okay, I'm in a bad place. How am I going to turn this around in my favor? So Big Snout Monster. How to play against aggression. My team and I usually play Go-Fors and Cups consistently, and often go pretty far. Last 16 in Go-For, and semifinals in the Comp Cup. We play fairly regularly and have fairly complex strats on defense and coordination on attack. Anyway, anytime we ever lose, it's to a team that doesn't give a fuck, push weird and aggressively on attack and defense peek out and run out. Okay, so how to counter, or how to play against aggression, or how to counter aggression. There's two ways to think about it. You can fight fire with fire, but then you could also be aggressive. But if your team is one of those teams that has something that's well coordinated, which it sounds like in this instance they're a well coordinated, well practiced team who knows exactly of their locations, you need to be choosing your strategy. Okay, we found out 2 rounds in that this team is really aggressive. So we need to either switch up our defense to counter that aggression, play more Jaeger to stop grenades, play more Miras to see pushes before they go, lesions, Ella, that sort of thing. Like you want as much push denial as possible. Maybe that's not the strat you run. Maybe you get a lot of nitro cells, maybe you get a lot of barb. That's up to you. But you need to be thinking, okay, this team is aggressive. How am I going to stop them from being aggressive? So you can fight fire with fire, get your best fraggers out, and do the best that they can to get as many frags. But if you're not being able to match their aggression, you need to you also need to stick to the strategies you have, because once you are a well put together team and you don't have a strat, that's gonna be the time that everyone flails. You need to stick to the strat. Okay, we're gonna hold this way, we're gonna hold here, but change it up. Coastline. I'm thinking coastline of games room and hookah. So instead of hiding behind the couch that one round where they shot you behind the couch because they knew you were going to be right beside the rotate, go behind the bar or something like that. Maybe play castle and stop them from getting an aquarium door or something like that. Obviously I don't know specifically what the strategy is, but you have to switch up the strategy that you're using and stick to the main plot of the strategy. We are going to stop them from entering this part. And you do that with either operators or gadgets or abilities or something like that. So you just need to if your strong suit is overthinking, overthink them. Think over their head, because aggression like that is only going to work if you're up to it, if you're holding to that aggression. So